Hello friends, now I explain the concept number 2.16, data types. As a part of our basic elements, we are studying all categories and all that. Once I remind whatever we discussed and all that. Because if a concept, if you repeat, revise many times and all that, those are automatically registered. That's why you may find some repetitions in my lectures. Here one thing I am telling you, a good thing is repeated also, no problem. Understand? It should be registered. My ultimate objective is to enable you to master not just learning for a examination or anything, master every element of Java. That's why now we are focusing on each and every element in a very detailed manner and a meticulous manner. Okay, now so far as a part of the basic elements of Java, what we discuss about comments, white spaces, character set, program tokens. In program tokens, five types of elements I explained. Those are keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and separators. Operators I didn't explain fully because just I introduced that. Uh, Chapter number 3 is earmarked for that. In that, we classify all the types of Java operators, and we should have a detailed and application oriented discussion. Then only you can understand operators, they perform operation. So, through operations only, you can understand the functionalities of all operators, their limitations, characteristics, everything. Now, in the mainstream, that is the fifth one, what is that? Comments, white spaces, character set, program tokens. The fifth one is data types. Data type is the core concept in every language. You have to understand the real meaning of this concept. Data type means simply a type of data. Everybody can understand that. That is not that. Actually, it represents your maturity of mind. Actually, one way, the most sophisticated explanation is a data type provides a blueprint for our data. Actually, without blueprint, we never do anything. Blueprint means just to understand. Now, you have to go to a hotel for taking breakfast. That for that purpose, for implementing a simple program, you have a blueprint in mind. What to do? You dress up and lock the door, go to the hotel, take tiffin, come back, open the door, and enter into the home. Like that, one blueprint is there. Without your knowledge, our brain automatically develops that algorithm and all that. In that way, without having blueprint, we never perform anything. Okay, that concept, whatever I am talking about, you call as a blueprint. Blueprint means you understand one thing. If you have to construct a building, you should have a blueprint. What is blueprint? It defines your characteristics and all that. In the same way, whatever program we have to implement, for that, whatever sequence of actions we perform, that you call as a blueprint. Now, just that point I enlighten. Now I told you to write a simple program to display your age. To display your age. Then age you have written. Before age, suppose let us say this is a simple C program. Before age, what you are writing? You are writing int. Why you are writing int? This is the career. This is not a college oriented study. This career oriented study. Come out of the college habits and all that. This is here knowledge and skills are very essential. So think, in college you think it is a type of it and all that. Now come out of that. Now age is a reality. Wherever a reality is there, before that we develop the blueprint. Your house is a reality. Your house is a reality. Before that you prepare a blueprint. uh, going to hotel and take tiffin, breakfast is the reality. Before that, one blueprint is there. Then in that way, you bent of mind is should be changed. Now I asked you to print your age. Okay, simply age is equal to 20 is not enough. Before that, what you are doing, one int you have written. What is int? Just analytically understand. Int provides a blueprint for the reality. Age is the reality, int is the blueprint. That what we call in this sense data type. Whether it is a appropriate name or inappropriate name, I don't talk about that, because I cannot change. Data type means I must call it as a data type. But your conceptual understanding should be real. That's what I am expecting. What I call this int provides a reality, int provides blueprint for this real thing. That you have to understand. How it is a blueprint? You may get it out. Int means what characters you list out. I want characteristics of the int. Int means it deals with the whole numbers, and it may be minus 0 or plus, and it is having certain range, and certain operations are possible on that. Now these are the characteristics of the int type. Okay, these are the characteristics. Whatever reality, that this what I simply call as a blueprint, whether you accept it or not, and one some name is required. Otherwise, how can you call this? This is an abstract concept. So I call it as a blueprint. Now you want a reality. What is the reality? Age is the reality. So first you think of what is the appropriate blueprint. Then appropriate blueprint is int. That's what you call data type. First blueprint you finalize, thereafter reality is thought over. First you approached architect and got developed the blueprint, thereafter you are starting the house. So you have to go to college. For that, one plan is there in your brain and all that. That is the blueprint. Attending college is the reality. So behind every reality there is a blueprint. This you must accept. But whether you accept or not, you are doing it. That's why you must accept it. So blueprint. Blueprints and all that here we call data types. That's why this much explanation I have given. Behind every reality there is a blueprint. Every reality is based on a blueprint. Every reality is developed based on a blueprint. First this concept you understand, then I will explain the data types. So why data types and all that? Other reason is also there. That is also from real life I give you. What is that reason? Actually, he invited a family for dinner. A family for dinner. Your family, your mother or some family member have to prepare, make the arrangements like food, etc., etc., and all that. Then what is the fundamental information you are supposed to give? You have to give an information. I invited a family, they are 10 members, they are coming for dinner. Is it enough? Just think analytically. Definitely you would have given some other information. You think analytically. Then 10 members I have invited. Out of that, 5 members are adult people, 3 are children, 2 are babies. Is it required or not? Why you are not simply giving 10 members? So the types, age groups are different. What is the relevance of the age group? Age group and the consumption of food is a relative matter, corresponding matter. That's why you are telling 5 adult people, 3 children, 2 babies, like that you are explaining. Here also you are introducing many elements. We are dealing with the data. Our program deals with the data. All data are alike? No. Your name, one type of data, it is a string. Your telephone number, it's a big one. So long is required. Your age, it is also a whole number, but a small number is enough. That may be byte, short, etc., and all that. So in that way, while we are dealing with several data items, just once again I tell you regarding your data only, your name, your telephone number, your age, your height, your weight, your qualification or qualifications, and your grade in the examination. Okay, your college, your semester, your branch. How many data items are there? Do you feel all data items are alike? No. That's why you must classify, and there is a blueprint. A blueprint is provided by the language that you have to specify. That's why int age, float height, char char grade. This we must use in programming. This is your real life behavior only. In real life, what you are doing? I invited 10 guests. Out of that, 5 are adult people, 3 are children, 2 are babies. Why you are giving? What is the logic behind it? The same logic. Hello friends. Now I explain the concept number 2.16. Now, I think you understood the reality behind the data type concept. Understand? Now, this is a career oriented study. This is the right time for understanding the realities. So, whatever may be the name, we cannot change the labels. Suppose in every language we call it a data type, and whatever reality that is called as variable. In my view, these are misnomers. What is the correct name also I do not know. However, you call them like that only, but you understand the realities. That is our basic requirement. Because these are all basic concepts. If you don't have correct idea about it, the reality behind it, then always it is a abstraction in your understanding, and you cannot master the things. That means you cannot own the concepts. That's why that much explanation, deeper explanation I am giving. Now let us come to the technical things. Now all the Java data types can be grouped into categorized into two categories. First one is primitive types, second one is non-primitive types, or simply the popular name is reference types. First let us focus on primitive types. Primitive, in C there are several names, all are synonymous. Those are fundamental types, primary types, primitive types, built-in types. Many names are there, don't confuse. In order to reduce confusion and all that, Java for all elements, you normally use one name. So primitive name. Primitive name, for the understanding, you can understand it is built-in type. Built-in means language by itself define them. Language by itself define the blueprints of this thing. So all types are not alike. That's why categorization is required. Already I told you, your name, your telephone number, your age, your weight, your height, all these are not alike. Okay, that's why that's why different data types were required. That's why uh, Java language provides different types. Normally, whatever numerical types we use and all that, here you see all the primitive types are divided into numerical types as well as non-numerical types. First, let us focus on numerical types. For most data items, we use numerical types. Numerical types, we know, we use whole numbers, or otherwise we use fractional numbers. Actually, as far as whole numbers are concerned, best example is your age. Your age is the best example. Of course, one thing, except on your birthday, on any day it is a fractional number. But by practice, what is your age means 20. Actually, on your birthday only it is 20. Other days and all 20 plus something, a fraction is there. However, by practice, we represent our name as a whole number. In the telephone number, a 100% whole number. There is no scope for fractional numbers and all that. Okay, so whole numbers and fractional numbers. Fractional numbers are called floating point numbers here. Actually, certain values may be whole numbers, but we have to take only floating point for them. Those are, for example, your height. Your height may be exactly 5, but after a few months it may be 5.1. By their nature, certain values like height, weight, distance, price, etc., and all that, we have to treat them as real numbers, means floating point. So now first let us categorize numeric types, integer type and floating point type. And once you decide integer, that means you want to use whole number, one more consideration is there. What is that consideration? What is the size of it? Your age, your age never be more than three digits, and your telephone number never be more than 10 digits. But storing age and telephone number in one data container, means a variable, it is not a prudent practice. Then it is not efficient also, because depending on the size of the variable, execution times are differed. Because if it's small data, execution is faster. Obviously, if it is bigger data, and execution time, more execution time is required. Understand? That's why if you categorize uniform data type for all integers is not a prudent practice. That's why Java very smartly divide into 4 categories. Those are byte, short, int, long. They are just all are integers only size wise different. Byte 1 byte, short 2 bytes, int 4 bytes, long 8 bytes. All are integers only, remember. In the same way, floating point means this is a fractional, what we call real. These are only 2 types, float and double. Float 4 bytes, double 8 bytes. Okay, these are numeric. Let us come to non-numeric. As far as non-numeric are concerned, we have only 2 types. One is char, and other one is Boolean. Char represents individual characters, and Boolean represents, already I told you, Boolean literals, it represents only true and false. Okay, nothing else. Okay, here character type, this is Unicode character, so it takes 2 bytes, whereas in C it is 1 byte, ASCII character, 1 byte only it takes, but Java is based on Unicode, that's why it is 2 bytes. So these are primitive types. These are provided by the language itself. Every language provides some primitive types. One primitive type is there and all that. Then what are other types are required? These are language defined types. Then why user defined types are required? Just with an example I tell you. Suppose one book is there, you have only one special class in the college. Then what to do? Normally, just without taking college bag, you may take just the book alone with hand like this and all. Only one book is enough. Suppose if it is a regular college, there are 8 sections in a day, then one book is not enough. You have to take a bundle of books and all that. Then you choose a college bag. You put all the books in the college bag, and not only storing, you must be in a position to retrieve it very easily. So the type of container used, this is also container. Actually, if you this data type if you take, that is also container, but it holds 1 unit. But multiple units are required. Then depending on the multiple units, you choose different bags in real life. It may be college bag, it may be gunny bag, it may be some vegetable basket, or depending on that, you are using different containers. Understand? Here, actually, when multiple data is there and all that, you have to choose user defined container. You have to use a container is required, that blueprint is also required. Just a simple example I give you. Int s, this is primitive, this is primitive, this is enough. Suppose your date of birth is there. Your date of birth means how you represent it. Your date of birth cannot be represented by one value. Okay, suppose your date of birth is 15 12 19 90. Then when you can express your date of birth, three items: date, month and year. Then this is not a single item. Then you have to design, you require one user defined, because this is a different container. It should hold three integer items. And for example, one more I tell you, your address. Can you express your address with one element like age and all that? It is not possible. That's why you want a bigger, different container. You have to design for that. What are the items in that? What are the items? Your door number, your street name, your area name, your city name, your state name, if it is required, your country name, and your PIN. Okay, like that, all information as a single bundle. Your address R is not correct. Address is, date of birth is, but it contains three items as single bundle. Address is, not address R. There are half a dozen items. Address is. For that, a different blueprint is required. For that, another blueprint is required. For that, blueprint is required, but it is provided by the language. That you have to understand. These are called user defined.